everybody. Welcome to Sports Grind Season 2, Episode 10. My name is Tyler Wargo.
And I'm Mickey Perella.
And today we're going to be talking about the MLB postseason and the World Series, which is happening. And we're going to be talking about the NFL Week 6, which was last Sunday, and Week 7, which started last night. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Rays held on in the World Series to advance, beating the Astros. And I honestly felt like the Astros could have came back and won that. I mean, I thought the Astros had it in them. I thought the Astros were going to win. They had good hitting. They had Correa. They had Altuve. But the Rays held on. What's your thoughts about that?
Well, I actually thought the Astros could come back. I was actually kind of shocked that they came. Well, at first they started to come back, and then once they started getting momentum, like, oh my gosh, could they completely take over the Rays? But
yeah.
Nope, the Rays held on, and now they're playing the World Series.
The Rays got good hitting, as we see. They also have good pitching. We've been seeing a lot of good pitching. We got Snell, who's been throwing strikeouts left and right. So
yeah, Tyler Glasnow as well has been throwing some
Glasnow, he's also young, and he's been showing the Rays why he deserves to be in the MLB and why he really deserves to win the World Series now. So we also take it to the Braves-Dodgers, as I honestly thought the Braves were gonna, and I'm saying this as a Dodger fan, I really thought the Braves were actually gonna beat the Dodgers, because I know the Braves in the past had beat the Dodgers in the postseason. And finally this year, the Dodgers actually beat the Braves in the postseason. I'm very proud of the team. You know, we got Kershaw, Bellinger. I honestly think Bellinger is making a huge game difference. He's been, without Bellinger and Turner and Peterson, then the Dodgers would not even be here. So
exactly. I mean, I honestly thought that the Dodgers would beat the Braves. I got a little bit uncomfortable at the beginning.
I was a little nervous.
Yeah, but you know what? The Dodgers got the job done.
They did.
Like they were supposed to.
I'm very happy about that. So thank God the Dodgers moved on. So as we see, they're facing the Rays. And right now, the series is looking pretty good. Right now, it's tied. We saw the Dodgers win Game 1, and then we saw the Rays come back and win Game 2. So, you know, this is going to be a really good World Series to watch, as the series is tied, like I said. But also, they both play again tonight, so
they do.
That's gonna even be better. So who's gonna win? Who's gonna win the series? I mean, it's tied right now.
I'm getting ready for a prediction. Got it. My prediction is that it will go in 7 games. The Tampa Bay Rays.
It's definitely gonna go in 7 games.
I think the Rays are gonna win. I think they're gonna beat the Dodgers, and I think their hitting is gonna be very important for the Rays. If they start getting on an offensive roll, they're going to win the World Series. My bet in, Rays win the World Series. You're right.
I mean, I definitely think they're going to go in Game 7. I can agree with you on that. But I also feel like, the Dodgers got hitting and pitching. They got history. They have past. Half the Rays team is just rookies and new guys. So we really have to see that. Also, one what I did notice, and I did point this out, if the Rays win, then Tampa Bay is champions.
For the first time in their history.
Well, no, not only that, but the Tampa Bay Lightning, they won. So they're going to bring it back to Tampa Bay. So, they're looking good. Or if the Dodgers win, then
the Lakers
won. Right. And now the Dodgers will win. So it's either Tampa Bay's year or LA's year. But what about football? So
does that mean the Bucks? Does that mean the Bucks are going to the championship?
Maybe.
That's
who knows? But Walker and Buehler versus Charlie Morton is tonight, as we also take you over to Mickey, who has the top players of the week in this World Series.
All right, so the hitter of the World Series so far has been Brandon Lau, second baseman of the Tampa Bay Rays. Second game of the series, he had 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, and he's got this team the dub. Also in Game 2, the pitcher of this series right now is Aaron Loup, reliever of the Rays. He had an inning, struck out 2, and a very surprising performance, given the fact that no one really expected anything out of Loup. So I think it's pretty good so far with the Rays so far. And
as we also take you over to NFL Week 6, which we started off with the Jets in Miami, and the Jets still not looking good, Mickey. They've been losing literally every single game. 6-0. 6-0. I don't even know. But the Dolphins, they're on a rise with Talagula. That guy is doing so well for the team. Ever since he came into the game, he's been doing he's been putting on a show for the Dolphins. And honestly, I'm pretty happy in the Dolphins right now. They started off at a slump with Fitzpatrick, but then ever since they got Tagovailoa, they've been looking pretty good and they're on a rise. So that was an easy win. They won 24-0 against their Jets. So yeah, Miami, they're on the rise. So we also take you to the Buccaneers as they finally ended the Packers' undefeated streak. So they won 38-10 in Tampa. That's a score right there. 38-10 against the Packers. They really showed Brady, really showed the Bucs that they deserve that win because Brady, he's been looking hot recently. And I'm pretty proud in the Packers right now. They've been also playing really well, but it just wasn't their game last week. So honestly, the Buccaneers looked pretty nice getting that win.
Definitely. I mean, the defense needs to play a little bit better for the Packers. Aaron Rodgers was just getting completely bombasted all over the place. I think it was a good win for the Buccaneers.
I just don't think
get themselves back on track.
I just don't think that it was the Packers' game. They're definitely gonna get these wins. I just feel like their hot streak's just gonna start up again this Sunday. 49ers got a shocking win as they beat the Rams 24-16, and wow, 49ers beat the Rams. 49ers, they weren't that hot team to look at. It was mostly the Rams, but seeing the 49ers beat the Rams like that, Cardinals also put a beating on the Cowboys 38-10, and the Cowboys, you're going to be seeing a couple losses from them these upcoming next weeks because they don't have Prescott, and I honestly think the Cowboys are done for the season. They're just going to be winning. I mean, if I see a win from them, I will be surprised, but I know they have Andy Dalton, and he's okay, but he's not making the passes that he wants to. We've been seeing a lot of incompletions. We've been seeing a lot of interceptions. I just don't think it's the Cowboys' year, but maybe next year. Cardinals, they've been looking pretty well. That win really helped the Cardinals out right there. So we also move on to a good game in Buffalo as the Bills faced the Chiefs, and the Chiefs won 26-17 against the Bills. Chiefs looking hot, beating the Bills. That's a pretty good win right there. Bills are looking pretty well still. I don't think that loss really defined the Bills because the Bills have been looking good even before that. I definitely think the Bills are going to pick themselves up. Chiefs, Mahomes, who knows? They could possibly make it to the Super Bowl again.
Definitely, they're definitely a Super Bowl contender.
I definitely can see that. So they've been looking really sharp. As we also take you over to the Titans as they played great, beating Watson and the Texans 42-36.
One of the best games of the week. That was a very high energy game, lots of scoring. That was a great game.
Titans looking pretty good lately. They've been winning games. They've been having good defense lately, and that's what we like seeing for Titan fans.
And definitely, another thing I'd like to point out about the Titans is Ryan Tannehill. This guy's been great. He's been great.
Yes. I honestly think Tannehill's on a rise this year. I think he's going to be showing a lot of teams that he deserves to be on the Titans. He's really putting a
a starting quarterback in this league.
He's a nice representation of the Titans right now. And I think the Titans are relying on him, not only relying on him, but they're relying on the defense as well. So that's pretty good for the Titans and Titan fans. Ravens also won as well as they won 30-28. Close game. Eagles losing by 2. What does that mean for the Eagles? They lost by 2 points, but the Ravens are pretty good, so the Eagles, they could be on a rise too.
Yeah, so, I mean, the Eagles just got to get some players back.
I just feel like they need to get. I just feel like they need to get a good, better quarterback.
Really? You're saying that Carson Wentz ain't it?
Carson Wentz, he's okay, but he's not the best.
Okay, mark that down, guys. Carson Wentz ain't it from Tyler. Watch that. We'll see. We'll bring that back. We'll see how that take goes.
I see the Eagles losing every now and then. Eagles, obviously they're the top in their division right now. But, they're not the best. We've seen better quarterbacks, obviously. Carson Wentz good, but not the best. That's all I'm saying. So, Falcons also win 40-23 against the Vikings. Vikings, they have good names on their team, They have Feline. They have all those good players, but the players are just completely slumping. They're letting Viking fans down.
Definitely. The Vikings have not been good this year. They're probably not going to compete this year.
They have good names, and that's why I feel like...
And you're going to see some of their names go out the door at the trade deadline. Yep. One of the names that already went out the door a couple days ago, Yannick Ngakoue, defensive end, has been shipped off to the Baltimore Ravens. So Vikings fans, I'm sorry, but you're not going to compete this year. Look for Trevor Lawrence in the NFL
And,
draft.
it's crazy because Vikings had a good year last year, then they completely.
They've had a very good year.
I think it's just because I just
consistent.
feel like it's their offense mostly. I mean, they're not making passes, and even if they run, I see them running the ball, but they're not even getting any yards with running the ball, and you would expect more from the players, is what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
So, Browns were looking hot until they lost to the Steelers. We saw the Browns actually looking pretty good. They've been winning a couple games, but then they're like the win-loss type team that you'd see. Steelers, they're on a rise. Steelers are on a rise. They won 38-7. I don't think this loss defines the Browns, but I definitely think the Steelers are coming on top slowly. I just feel like both teams need to improve on their offense more. Not defense, mostly offense.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you, but another thing I would like to add, Baker Mayfield, you're a bust. You're bad.
I mean, you see a lot of people like pointing out how Baker Mayfield's like, this is not his season, maybe next year, but like,
I don't even think it's ever any season.
You never know, though.
He's not an NFL quarterback.
Maybe Mayfield just needs to improve, in my opinion.
I don't think he can improve.
I think he could.
I don't think
He could improve.
No.
You see Baker Mayfield, like, not maybe having those good games, but watch out. You never know. You may be seeing the rise from him.
All right, that's my take. Your take's Carson Wentz, my take's Baker Mayfield. Those will go against each other.
All right. Colts also beat the Bengals 31-27, and the Bengals are on a complete downfall right now.
They are, but Joe Burrow's been playing well, so that should just make all Bengals fans happy that they found their franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
Even though they're not playing well, probably because your coach never, coached. I mean,
I don't think
he was never
they don't
a
have a good coach. They don't have a good coach.
They gotta get rid of him.
They have no good play calls.
Nope.
So, Lions also picked up a nice win against the Jaguars in Jacksonville, 34-16. Lions are also the team to look out for this weekend. No, these past weeks, the Lions have been putting the scores on the board and beating teams tremendously with these big points. They've been putting big points on the board, and it's really helping the Lions and the Lion fans. So, Bears played great, winning 23-16 against the Panthers. I don't think it's their year, but the Bears, I think they have a shot. I think they have a really good shot. They're 5-1 right now, and I think Chicago. Look out, other teams. Chicago's coming.
Definitely. I like to point out about both teams because both teams are actually interesting to me. You got the Chicago Bears, right? You got Nick Foles, Super Bowl MVP. Now, he doesn't really have a ton of weapons. He only has Allen Robinson and basically just guys off the street. Look for the Bears to get a trade deadline, go to the trade deadline and trade for a receiver. As for the Panthers, it may not be your year this year, but hey, you got a good quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater. You found your coach in Matt Rule. This guy is a proven guy.
Bridgewater can definitely improve. I see a lot of skill in him.
Definitely. But if you look at this coach Matt Rule, who the Panthers gave a lot of money to become the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
He establishes a plan, and then they improve every single year. He did that at
100%.
Temple. He did that at Baylor. He's going to do that with the Panthers. I love the move by the Panthers, and I think it's going to be great.
I can agree with you on that. Totally. He's doing Bridgewater. He's the guy to look out for. So, Giants also kept it close and won 20-19 against Washington, and Washington is on the Jets level right now. Washington is just like the Jets right now. Washington football team, it's really hard for them to get a win. They try their hardest, but it's just they just can't get their wins, and it must be frustrating for Washington fans.
Definitely. Washington, you just don't have enough talent yet. You guys got to get yourself a franchise quarterback. Obviously, Haskins isn't it. I mean, if Alex Smith is starting over him at this point, and Alex Smith almost had to retire due to a career-ending injury, you got to move on from Haskins.
Yep. I 100% agree with you. Broncos also won 18-12 against the Patriots. That was a nice win. As we saw, the Broncos, they've not been winning games recently, but picking up the win from the Patriots is pretty good, especially the Patriots have Cam Newton and all those, and Edelman and all that. Beating those players, that's pretty good for the Broncos. So, what does this mean for the Broncos, though, taking that win?
I think what it means to the Broncos is that they keep improving. I thought they'd have a good offense this year, but Drew Lock got hurt. But now he's back. He did have a little bit of an iffy game last week, but you know what? Once he gets into his groove, I think he'll start playing well. And I think that Broncos fans have a lot to look forward to next year.
Honestly, maybe not this year, but next year the Broncos could be on the rise. They could be winning games. They might be, who knows? They might start the season 4-0 next year.
Definitely.
we also take you over to Mickey as he's going to give you the Week 6 top players of the week for NFL.
Definitely. All right, so the player of the week for Week 6 is Derrick Henry, running back of the Tennessee Titans. He rushed for over 212 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also caught 52 yards receiving in the win over the Texans.
Yep.
He was all over the place. The best running back in the league, in my opinion, is Derrick Henry, and he is proving it this season.
Watch out, Tennessee's coming.
Tennessee is coming.
We also take you to Week 7, which started last night, as we have the Giants and they face the Eagles. And Eagles won 22-21, and Giants won by like a point. So Giants fans, I wouldn't get too down on yourself. They were pretty close to beating the Eagles.
They were really, really close. It was just really demoralizing how they kind of just choked away the game, however.
I just feel like the Giants need to get a better defense.
They do. They have to get themselves a better team. They have to figure out if Daniel Jones is going to be the starting quarterback going forward. They got to make sure that their defense is stout. I mean, they added some nice pieces.
They lost some
but they got
players.
to get some.
They lost some players.
Definitely have lost some players. And the Eagles, they're just an infirmary right now when they beat you. So, honestly, for Eagles fans, once you get your players back, you should definitely win the NFC East, considering how bad it's been.
Yeah. And
the Giants, look toward next year, and you got to make sure if Daniel Jones is the guy, because there's a lot of questions right now.
There's a lot of questions.
He's the guy.
I really think the Giants, I don't think they're going to be that team to look out for next year, but they're going to be getting those wins, though. More wins than obviously than we see now. So that really wraps it up for the NFL. So that's really about it. I'm Tyler Wario.
And I'm Mickey Perella.
And you guys are tuning in to Sports Kind Season 2, Episode 10. Bye.
Peace.